What's going on, guys? Aarava here. Welcome back to my F1 2016 career mode, and this is episode 21, the finale of this season 1 of career mode with McLaren Honda. It feels like a short space of time, but actually looking back at it, it has been an exhausting season. That's been a very, very long season. I didn't think, 2 more races on the calendar from 19 would make a difference, but it does just feel that little bit longer to me recording the races. Obviously, for you guys, you don't see the kind of extra hours of recording. You just see the 20-minute videos, so it might seem like we got through it quite fast, with the daily uploads, but it has been a long old season. It has felt like quite a long one, so we're finally here, the final race, and as per usual, we did the practice programs in Abu Dhabi. We did FP1, obviously, for the first time. You got the proper kind of day transition, so full daytime here in Abu Dhabi for the very start, doing the track acclimatization and the tyre wear test. I actually waited until FP2 to do the qualifying test because obviously you qualify at night, and so I wanted to wait till the night conditions in FP2 to try out the ultra softs and see what kind of lap time we could do there with the temperatures. And so after that, we moved in swiftly to qualifying. Obviously, as per usual, for the last few races, Q1 was a formality, so we move into Q2. You can see I'm going to be on the super soft tyres here as we start our flying lap. So we're going to try the usual tactic I've done a lot of the times this season, try and start on the kind of middle tyre for the race, because obviously the tyre you qualify on in Q2 is the one you start on. So through the final corner, locking up a little bit, but it's been a pretty tasty lap. So we come across the line, P4 at the moment, as we fast forward on through this session, and everyone else sets their their flying laps. Is going to be in the end just enough to get us into Q3. Thankfully, both Williams cars surprisingly not making it in there. They tried it on the super softs and they both failed, which is quite funny to me because I take great pride in beating Williams in this career mode in the constructors, as has been pretty obvious to you guys because I've said it many times. That's our objective. But me and Jensen both into Q3. He had to do it onto ultra softs though, unfortunately, but we're still both into Q3, which is a really good thing to see on the final race. I want to finish off this career mode season very strong, so we can take the momentum into season 2 with, if we get a good result, if we've done a good job in qualifying. Just all these little things I think adds up for me to just take that momentum through. So we come across the line for our first flying lap in Q3. Only P5 at the moment. It actually goes down to the usual P7, which we're too used to. So I thought, no, we can't have that. We can't finish P7 again. So I come across the line for a second flying lap. That gets us into P5 now, because I was actually understeering a little bit in that first flying lap. So it's going to be P5 and P7 for both us McLaren boys on the final grid for this season. Max Verstappen in pole position. Obviously, Nico Rosberg's already won the championship, but the constructors is still up for grabs there between Ferrari and Mercedes. So let's see how it pans out. Let's see if we can have a great last race here in this season. Let's go to the grid. Right, so for the final time this season, let's take a look at that race strategy ahead of the formation lap. You can see I'm toggling between the personalized and the default projected tyre wear, because for the first time this season, it's taken till the last race, the 3-stop and the 2-stop look very similar. Only about 7 seconds on my personalized target and about 10 seconds on the default between the two strategies. So I was very, hard debating in my mind if I should do the 2-stop or the 3-stop. In the end, I decided to choose the 3-stop. It's going to be a super soft, then ultra soft, super soft, and then soft at the end. 7 seconds with the personalized tyre wear. That doesn't sound like too much to make up in terms of using the fresh rubber to try and make up that 7-second delta time. So I'm confident the 3-stop could work. In terms of fuel, we've pretty much left it at default there. And so we go on to the formation lap. Of course, we start on the super soft tyre, so that's why both strategies are like that, as obviously we qualified in Q2 on those tyres. Interestingly enough, we've got a few people ahead of us on ultra softs. Vettel behind me is on super super softs. I believe Nico Rosberg, the new world champion, which is weird to say, is on super softs as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how we do against everyone else who will probably definitely be forced to maybe do a 3-stop because they're starting on ultra soft. Anyways, for the final time this season, we go to 5 red lights for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Dump the clutch, and we're underway here. Ricciardo gets a pretty good start, but then gets bogged down behind Lewis Hamilton. This will allow us to go round the outside of him into turn 1. Hamilton gets caught up behind Rosberg there, so we've got to jump on him as well on ultra soft. So this is interesting. Into turn 2, that's going to turn into turn 3. We make it down the inside into turn 3, and we're up into 3rd place right now. So at the moment, Max Verstappen leads the Grand Prix. Rosberg 2nd. He's got a good gap already to Nico Rosberg, and we're trying to close down on Nico through these next corners. You can see Hamilton there in 4th. Ricciardo still remains 5th, and then you got the 2 Ferraris of Vettel and Raikkonen, and I think my teammate just might be there behind them. So now as we go down the main straight, we put the car up into rich mix, and you're about to see such a difference it makes from standard to rich, it appears, here at Abu Dhabi especially, because look at the long toe we're getting all the way from there where Rosberg is, and we actually start to close on him at the very end of the back straight through the chicane as well. We're going to see how it goes off this corner now, still in rich mix, remember, so let's really see. I'm actually curious. It looks like our engine's feeling very good at the moment with rich mix. Look at this, look how much we're getting, just pulling him in more and more, just like Brazil. Look at the Honda power. I didn't think I'd be saying it 2 times in a row here, but we've gone down the inside of Nico Rosberg. We give him the room, we give him so much room there, and he just can't make it through the corner, and we get up into 2nd place. So I really didn't think I'd be saying that twice in a row in episodes. Look at that Honda power. That really worked a treat there with the rich mix. But on to lap 3, 2 laps later, Hamilton's going to come back. We're in standard mix, so it looks like the rich and the standard here at Abu Dhabi is really making a difference here at our car, and Hamilton goes past. Obviously, though, he's on the ultra soft, so I didn't put up too much of a fight, you saw, because I believe he's going to come in soon anyway. I mean, he's on the ultra soft. They're not going to go very long. They're pretty much like a qualifying tyre, and just as I say that, Hamilton comes into the pit after only doing 3 laps in the Grand Prix. So this also makes me question maybe our 3-stop if the ultra softs can only go about 3 laps, 4 laps maybe, and my engineer thinks the same thing. As you can see on the right hand side, he wants to change the strategy, and he's telling that to me right now through turn 3, and so he's going to suggest to me the 2-stop. Now, after seeing Hamilton and that Ferrari of, I think it must have been Raikkonen, because Vettel was starting the super softs, wasn't he? So after seeing those 2 come in only after 3 laps, it definitely made me consider this 2-stop, and I do end up switching to it. So we tell him on a microphone to confirm change, so we're going to switch to the 2-stop. So now we're going to go on to a set of super softs instead of ultra softs at our next pit stop, and then go to soft towards the end of the race. So now we just push on as hard as we can till that pit stop. We move on to lap 7 when we indeed come in. We're leading the Grand Prix at the moment because Max Verstappen was on ultra softs up in the lead, so he pit on lap 4, so the ultra softs only went to a maximum of lap 4. So I'm glad we actually made the decision for 2 stops, because it didn't look like going on the ultra softs was going to be worth it for us, and neither is it going to be for Rosberg and Vettel. So us 3, me, Rosberg and Vettel, the fact that we've started on the super softs basically kind of almost, forces you to go on the 2-stop, because there is no logical way, other way to go about it, basically. I thought there might have been, because I didn't really know how far the ultra softs would go, but obviously now we've got that confirmation. So there we are on another set of super softs, and we'll go for another, 6, 7 laps and see how we go. On the left hand side, you can see a Ferrari and a Williams there, so let's see where we filter out, just ahead of Sebastian Vettel. So that's very good, because I think Vettel came in a lap earlier than us, so that's good that the undercut didn't work for him, and we come just out behind our teammate Jenson Button, who's on ultra soft. So I'm pretty sure he hasn't, I'm very confident he hasn't gone from the start of this Grand Prix onto those tyres, so it looks like he's got a very good undercut there. Probably did a double ultra soft, maybe double ultra soft, so he got some really good speed on those tyres perhaps. I'd be surprised if he did go all the way till this lap on the ultra softs, and we dive down the inside, and I think it's pretty apparent that he's struggling with some grip, because he doesn't really put on much of a fight. I was actually praying that he didn't put much of a fight anyway, because I really need to get a move on here on these fresh super softs, especially considering you can see on the top left, hopefully there, right there, you can see Hamilton is on soft tyres, so we really need to get a move on here, trying to overtake him, because if Hamilton's going long to the Grand Prix, we don't want him to hold us up here and effectively ruin our race strategy. We get held up a little bit already through the final corner. You can see lots of people pinning into the pits. You can see Nico Rosberg is ahead of us there as he goes into turn 1, so he's jumped us there in the pit stop phases, pitting 1 lap earlier than us. Remember, he was in third place behind us, and I think Max Verstappen is ahead of all these guys. So at the moment, we're effectively in a net third place at the moment, as we've got Sebastian Vettel also chasing us down in a net fourth place. So as we go through the chicane here, you can see Hamilton getting bogged down quite a bit there by Massa locking up in front of him. We make a little cheeky move down the inside of Hamilton. Obviously, he's on softer tyre, on the soft compound tyres, so he doesn't have as much grip as I do. So that was a pretty actually easy move for us down the inside. Saw the place, he left the door wide open, so why not? And now we've got DRS, put it up into rich mix, and you can see we're already gaining on Massa up ahead, who's going to make a move on a Renault of Kevin Magnussen there, and so he's going to squeeze him out. This might help us out actually, so Felipe could slow Magnussen down enough to help us out. So we get some slipstream here. We're going to have DRS as well on the bottom right. You can see we open it up. Magnussen's going to have DRS as well, so this might not be such an easy pass for us. We're going to move to the inside. He's also on the soft tyres, remember. All these guys looks like they're all on the soft tyres, apart from Massa ahead of us, who's on ultra soft, it looks like. And then Rosberg there is doing the same strategy as us on super softs, but Massa helped us out there, get some momentum on Magnussen. That was a pretty easy move down the inside for us. And then on towards lap 10, a few laps later, now we're closing down Massa as he sparks away quite dramatically there. Quite nice to see, actually, under the floodlights of Abu Dhabi, the sparks. They've actually added that back in a recent patch for the F1 game on the PC at least. So now we go down and we're up into second place there. Very easy move for us. You know, Massa is going to be struggling on those ultra softs because, as we know, they only go about 4 laps. So, you know, very, very easy move for us. And so now we move on to lap 13. You can see Rosberg just exited your screen there. We're trying our best to keep up with him, but it's not really working out. And then here our team is asking, they want us to change strategy to, well, you can see it's the same strategy, but just 2 laps earlier. They want us to pit. And I say confirmed change at the time, but then later on into this stint, I realised, no, we can't pit this lap 13. It's far too early. The tyres are going to go off way too much on the soft tyres. So I actually, you know, later on decide to kind of ignore the call I just made, and I pit later on onto lap 15. As you can see right now, clearly we come into the pits. We're still in second place. Rosberg still out. He pits in the same lap as us. So basically, I've covered off Rosberg. Essentially, that's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do the entire time. But I thought maybe my team were trying to second guess where he was going to pit. Obviously not. But Rosberg makes the pit stop. He's already back into the pit, actual pit lane before we even come in to make our pit box there. But we're onto the soft tyres now, going to the end of the Grand Prix. But Rosberg, for me, clearly had a lot of pace on that second set of super softs. I tried to keep up with him, and to be fair, comparing our lap times in the race director, it seemed pretty similar. But then towards the last 2 laps of that last super soft stint, he basically eked out like half a second each lap. So he was really, really showing Mercedes power there and the muscle and the downforce he's got around this circuit. So as much as I'm trying to challenge these guys, it's still very apparent we have work to do, obviously, going into next season. And through this entire race, definitely I'm learning a lot of where we need to improve. I feel like maybe the engine upgrades maybe can wait a little bit. Maybe we'll do 1 engine upgrade at the start of season 2, but I maybe think we need to focus on the downforce again and maybe fuel efficiency, because also finally now, you guys have been telling me this a lot in the comments, but I've never really actually agreed with it until now, until this race. This is the first race where I've actually been hit in the fuel. Like this is the first race where I feel like it's a hindrance that I can't run in rich for longer in this race. Every other Grand Prix, I've been totally fine. I haven't wanted to run rich mix a lot in any Grand Prix, really. But this Grand Prix specifically, I don't know why, but the car just felt so much better in rich mix compared to standard to most of these guys. I think it's because everyone around me fueled up a lot, because we try and overtake Sainz here. We're in rich mix at the moment. You can see it's a pretty easy job for us to overtake Sainz, a Toro Rosso car, which should be pretty good in a straight line. You know, obviously, you know, the real life Toro Rosso is not that great, but in game the Toro Rosso is pretty good in a straight line. But we passed him easily on rich mix there, and the car felt so much better in rich mix at Abu Dhabi. So for the first time, really, I'm agreeing with you guys that we need to do some fuel efficiency upgrades maybe for the next season. But up until now, I haven't really felt like it. But anyway, after we made that pass on Sainz, we just did our race. You can see here, we're actually looking on board with Hamilton, because this is an interesting thing. He was doing a 2-stop with us, but eventually he couldn't hack it. He couldn't hack the 2-stop, and he had to convert to a 3. So he actually pits for ultra softs here in the middle of my soft stint. So he was in the pack there. It was me, Verstappen behind me, then Bottas, then Hamilton. But now you can see as we move later on to Grand Prix, as Verstappen tries to make a move around the outside, doesn't make it work, and Bottas is on the back of him now. You can see Hamilton's nowhere to be seen. He's on those ultra softs all the way back there, having to make an extra pit stop. But now we're on the second last lap of the Grand Prix, lap 27. I'm not going to lie, not much happened actually. I was just trundling around on these soft tyres, slowly losing time basically to all these guys. You can see Verstappen looking very good. I'm in standard mix, and in standard mix, just look at this, the Red Bull waltzes past. I can guarantee you, I think all the AI behind me are on rich mix. All these AI cars are definitely on Rich Mix, because they were stupidly fast in a straight line compared to what I had at the beginning of the Grand Prix when I was in Rich Mix. So, as I said before, just now, really the first Grand Prix that I felt like, yeah, we need to do some fuel efficiency upgrades for next season. But, you know, it's taken till the last race of the season for me to see that. But anyway, we make the move back on Verstappen down the inside with DRS. I kind of played it a little bit cool, kind of like wily old fox. Waited for him to kind of pass me, made sure I got the DRS so I could get him back with the DRS and the double bite of the cherry there, and so we got him back there. But we'll move on to the final lap of the Grand Prix. Again, through the final corner, you can see Verstappen gains a lot on us, and he's going to try and overtake us onto the last lap of the Grand Prix, round the outside into turn 1. Max, very, very aggressive, tries to hold around the outside, fair play to him, and he does so. He's actually got us into turn 2. We try and hang it down the inside, which will turn to the outside of turn 3. We try and hang it. He's got us for now, but we'll get the traction back. We'll push it our way through, force our way through, force some space. He locks up, big lock up for Max Verstappen. That allows us to get second place back, and now he's under pressure from Valtteri Bottas in what will be 4th place there as we go through the hairpin corner. Verstappen closes up down the inside, but looks like it's going to be good for DRS, and Bottas is not too far behind Max Verstappen, so he also might be a threat, because that Williams is going to be pretty damn good in a straight line. But here comes Max on the left-hand side and Valtteri Bottas, and look at the speed he's got. Valtteri Bottas, that is illegal speed there, down on the left-hand side, overtakes both of us. We squeeze Max out into the chicane. We're going to get DRS off Bottas, so that's going to help us out, but that was so quick down the left-hand side. Valtteri just steams past us like he's going down on the right-hand lane down the motorway in the UK, and passes us very, very easily. And so you can see Nico Rosberg, the world champion, he's not let up like Hamilton did in 2015 in real life. He wins the final race of the season to round out his championship and celebrate that in style. But we're going to try our best to hang it with Bottas, but I don't think it's going to work. I think he's saved his tyres a lot better than I have. I really struggled on these soft tyres. I did no tyre wear testing on these soft tyres. I believe I did my tyre wear test on these super soft tyres, so I had no clue what the tyre wear is going to be like on the softs. I can tell you now, it was very, very bad. So unfortunately, we're not going to get Valtteri Bottas here at the end of this Grand Prix. It's going to have to be 3rd place. It'll still be a podium at the end of this season, which is going to be fantastic for us. It's going to be Rosberg 1st, Bottas 2nd, myself 3rd, and we'll hold off Verstappen. And what a way to round out this season. An absolutely exciting, exhilarating last lap of this season there. Beautiful stuff with Max Verstappen. Really enjoyed that fight there right at the end. It took a while for the Grand Prix to really get going. It took to the last lap. But really nice fight there with Verstappen going side by side. And we got on the podium, which is pretty damn nice. And we'll taste that champagne for the final time this season. And hopefully we'll be tasting a lot more of it in Season 2. Because hopefully we'll be fighting for many, many wins next season with a much improved McLaren Honda with the upgrades. But yeah, fantastic way to end out Season 1 there with the podium. Quite a mixed up race there actually with the 3-stop and the 2-stoppers, because all the 3-stoppers had to really fight there, and I think it mixed up because I think we had a few front runners who didn't quite make it work in this Grand Prix. You got the likes of Danica Fiat getting right up there, Romain Grosjean as well, fantastic for him, and Carlos Sainz finishing ahead of Daniel Ricciardo there in the top 10, but yeah, the podium, great way to end it there, and I'm very, very happy that we could at least get that. I wanted to do that after the last race. We missed out a little bit at Brazil, but we look at the Drivers' Championship for the final time. We do secure that place right behind Daniel Ricciardo. Interestingly enough, Raikkonen, with that position he's got, moves up into 2nd place in the championship ahead of his teammate Vettel and ahead of Hamilton, who finished down in 4th place. And the constructors, the only move there is Haas finishing ahead of Force India. You can see Manor still surprisingly actually right at the bottom, because I thought they would have been doing better, but Renault actually do better than them, and Sauber as well there as the third bottom team there, so they've done well to improve. But of course, our objective was to beat Williams, my own objective that I set us, and we did that. So we've got a lot of points in the bag, nearly got 2,000, not quite, but near enough there for Season 2. So obviously we'll get that 25% bonus. You can see we are still losing the rivalry to Ricciardo. I'm not too sure if that rivalry will continue over or not, we'll have to see. But yeah, we come to the end of the season message, and it's time to get told about what contracts we could sign for Season 2 here.
Hi, you got a minute? I've just finished negotiating the final offer. How does a new contract sound?
Sounds pretty good. So we're going to look at the contracts available to us. Of course, we'll have a kind of renewal one for McLaren Honda. Interestingly enough, we actually got offers from Mercedes, Ferrari, and Williams, all for second drivers. But of course, You know how it was, guys, from the start of this season. That's the whole point of this career mode. I think it'd be a bit silly to do anything otherwise. We're going to be sticking with McLaren because I want to try and get this car to the top, the fastest car on the grid, winning multiple Grand Prix and winning the championship. So that's what we're going to try and aim for in Season 2. I think it's a little bit silly. I mean, that's the whole point of this career mode this year. The fact with the R&D upgrades, you can bring a team to the top. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to re-sign for McLaren, sign the contract, and we'll be staying with them for Season 2 alongside Jenson Button there for 2017.
Great. I'll get it to admin.
So there we have it, guys. That is the end of Season 1. That is the end. Guys, if you have enjoyed it, smash that like button for the entire season long. Let me know what you thought of that first season in the comments below. I'm looking forward to Season 2. I hope you guys are as well. Give you a little overview at the end of this season if you're curious. You can pause the video if you want to actually take a good look at it. So that was the chart for the different teams in our season and the R&D upgrades we've done so far. You can see where we ceased the R&D just after Japan. But good progress, I think. Really good progress. I think we made the correct decisions in the areas we needed to this season. It sets us up for a better season in Season 2 where we can work on fuel efficiency, downforce, where maybe now we're lacking in that department. And I think it really does bode well for Season 2. I think we really can take the fight and, well, I'll be hoping that we can try and challenge for the championship. But here's an overview of all the trophies there. You can see total, we got 2 wins there against the Ultimate AI, 2 podiums against the Ultimate AI, and obviously earlier on the season when we were on Legend AI, we got 2 podiums there as well. All round, a pretty okay season. Quite inconsistent here and there. A few, you know, like Baku and Japan, but I'm really, really happy that we got 2 wins against Ultimate AI in the McLaren Honda. I'm really, really happy about that. Really chuffed at it, and I'm so happy to see that progress from where it was at Australia to now. So I'm looking forward to Season 2. I hope you guys are. It's not going to start straight away, guys, because obviously, hopefully you guys know my situation. I am a university student at the moment. I actually start university in about 2 weeks' time-ish, and I'm starting to get prepared for that. So I'm going to try and pre-record stuff and get a little bit prepared. So Season 2 won't start straight away. I'll be hoping to start it in minimum, kind of like maximum, like 2 days, hopefully. So hopefully maybe on like Thursday or Friday, I can get the start of Season 2 going, but there won't be a career mode straight away tomorrow because I'm going to use tomorrow to kind of get things recorded, try and record a few episodes if I can potentially. So you guys are going to have to wait for that for a little bit, but I hope you can wait for that because it'll be worth the wait for Season 2. I think it will be a very, very fun season to do, to try and legitimately challenge all the top teams. So once again, guys, if you have enjoyed the video, hit the like button, let me know what you thought in the comments below, and you're on here, and do subscribe for weekly full-on content. I've been aarava, hope you enjoy the rest of the day, and I'll see you guys next time.